Hey y'all, welcome back to Facing the 50s. My name's Deanne. My basket has gotten full, so you know what that means. It's time to go through the empties, and I'll give you a little idea of if I liked it, if I didn't like it, if I'd repurchase it. I've got a mixture of hair care, skin care, a couple of makeups. I don't go through those as quickly, but let's get right to it. In no particular order, I'm just going to pull it out of the basket as it is. So first product I've got here is a Matrix Total Results High Amplify Hairspray. Love this hairspray. I've used several kinds. I've got, if you can't tell, super fine, thin hair, and I have to have something that doesn't weigh it down. I can't use pump style hairsprays. Those tend to just really weigh my hair down. So an aerosol is what I have to use. Really like it. Already repurchased it, so definitely I think worth it. If you saw my last Empties video, it won't surprise you that I have another one of the Cetaphil Pro Eczema Soothing moisturizers in there. This is my absolute tried and true go-to. I remember I showed you a tip in the last one about being able to get some extra out because it doesn't pump all the way to the bottom. And this time I actually counted the days. I remember last time I thought it was maybe 4 or 5 days. This time I actually counted the number of days I got after I took the lid off and used the other lid. It was almost 2 weeks worth of product that was still in there after the pump had stopped pulling stuff out. So if you haven't seen that video, go back and check that out, but it might be a good tip that's helpful for you. But I will definitely have already repurchased and will continue to use that. Here's something that was in my other Empties video as well. Shaving gel. I just used the Skintimate Skin Therapy moisturizing in this pink jar. I've got 2 of them. I've used it for years and years and years. Love it. I watched for it. I got this one. There was a real good deal at Walgreens, and I can't remember if it was like 2 of them for $5, and then I had some Walgreens bucks or a coupon or something. But anyway, so I paid like $1 a piece for them. So I was very happy with that. And it's just my go-to. Used it for years. Another one that's a repeat from my last Empties video was a Clinique Take the Day Off for makeup remover for lids, lashes, and lips. I have used it again for years. Someone suggested that maybe I try, I think it was olive oil might be a good option if I wanted to try something else. And once I get through, I still have 2 of these left. Once I get through 2 of those, I might try that and see how it goes. But love it. It works. Certainly would like to find something a little less expensive, but it does the job. And I like it because it's gentle on my lashes and it doesn't pull or tug on them. So anyway, love that. Oh gosh, this one I love, love, love. I can't remember if I've talked to you about this yet or not. This is the Murad Environmental Shield City Skin Age Defense Broad Spectrum SPF 50 PA+++++. Okay, they win the prize for the longest title of a product ever. Here's what it looks like. I know there's a glare because of my light, but you can kind of get an idea. I love this sunscreen. So it is a mineral sunscreen. It's got titanium dioxide and zinc oxide, which I have to use those kinds, the mineral sunscreens because I have, or physical sunscreens, I guess they're called, because I have rosacea. And the synthetic sunscreens or you know, the ones that's like oxybenzone, or I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but all those other names, those tend to irritate my rosacea. So anyway, I tend to look for a physical sunscreen, and I've always want one that I can wear under makeup because I rarely go without makeup. So this one this is my 3rd bottle of this, so I know I like it if I've been through 3 bottles of it. I definitely grab it when I can get it on 20% off at either Ulta or Sephora, so I highly recommend it. Plays well with makeup. One thing I would recommend, and this is just in general, when you go pick up your products, make sure that you're paying attention to, let me see if you can see that, the expiration there at the bottom, like that one says 0221, because I was in a store, it was in January, yeah, a couple of months ago, when it was, I was about to run out of this, and I picked up the box and it was going to expire that same month. So pay attention to what you're picking up and make sure that you're not, you know, picking up a sunscreen that's going to expire that month, because you certainly don't want to risk that. But anyway, so love that. All right, next empty is a Paulas Choice Resist Hydrating Cleanser. I do believe I mentioned this to you in the empties last time, or as a favorite. Have used this for years and years and years. It is hydrating, so it's great for normal to dry skin. It doesn't irritate my skin whatsoever. It's almost cushiony. Back when I was using my Clarisonic every night, it was the only cleanser I could use and use with it so that my face didn't get irritated. Because some cleansers are very thin, and the vibrations of the brush would kind of irritate my skin a little bit. But anyway, love it. Still have a large jar of it or a pump of it right now I'm still using. All right, what else we got here? We have an empty package of the Shiseido cotton wipes. I believe I remember talking to you about those in the other empties video, so at least I'm pretty consistent with what I like. But used one of those up and have several packs of these in a back stock. I tend to grab those when Ulta has a 20% off and I can use my points because I can get them for almost nothing, and absolutely love them. So I've got those. What else? All right, let's get this one here. This is a quash uplifting foam, just a mousse. It's like a root pump or a root lifter, that sort of thing. I like it. I like that little nozzle that it has right there. It's got a hair on it. Sorry about that. So I like that little nozzle that it's got right there. It can really, get into the roots to spray on there. I ran out of this a few weeks ago, and then I started using I had some little trial sizes that I had received in, subscription boxes or just, little samples, and tried 2 or 3 different things, and I missed this so much that I went back and rebought it. So this is definitely, I guess, going to be a favorite of mine for a while if I missed it enough to go back and rebuy it. So I like that. So far I like everything. All right, next is another product I know I like, so there's no sense, pretending like I don't. Drunk Elephant La La Retro Whipped Cream. So this is, I used to have to use it in the day, and I don't have to anymore because my skin's kind of normalized, but I use it at night. I tend to stay away from jar moisturizers, but this one's not really a jar, it's an airless pump, so that's incredible. I love the Drunk Elephant line. Almost everything about it I think is fantastic. It's a treat when I'm able to get it. But anyway, so I would recommend it if this is something that's of interest to you. All right, what do we got next here? This is Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel. Right there, you've seen it probably. So all it is just like it's got a little mascara wand. It's a clear gel, and you're supposed to use it on your, like this, on your brows to help keep them in place. Well, luckily or unluckily, whichever way you may want to look at it, I don't really have sort of crazy brow hairs that have to be kept in place, so mine tend to stay where I need them. I'll tell you where this was really helpful. And I got out of the habit of using it because I was overusing it. But in the summer, I was having trouble with the mascara on my eyelashes transferring to this part of my eye. Because I curl my eyelashes, and of course it would touch, and then I'd get hot and sweaty. And so it would transfer, and I'm constantly wiping it off. I saw somebody on YouTube, I cannot remember who it was, or I would share them with you. But they said, after you put on your mascara, take this and just run it across the tips of your mascara, and it'll help keep that from doing it. And I'll be danged if it doesn't work. So it really did. Where I had to be careful was because I thought, well, if a little bit's good, then a lot's even better, so I was almost using it as a mascara and using way too much, and so my eyelashes got a little clumpy. But really just a little bit on the tips of them definitely helped with that kind of smearing and transfer problem. So if you've got that issue, you might want to give that a shot. All right, coming up next is I've got MAC Prep and Prime 24-hour Extend Eye Base. Whatever with this 24 hours, I'm not going to wear my eyeshadow that long, but I do. This is my favorite eyeshadow primer. It doesn't cancel out any color, but it's the best I found for me, as far as my oily eyelids and really, you know, prepping that and making the shadows blend well and last longer. So I will definitely repurchase that, and of course this little package can go in my back to MAC towards a free lipstick, so that's always good. All right, what do we got here? A tiny or a travel size of Drunk Elephant's Virgin Marula Luxury Facial Oil. So just a small one. And I've had the big dropper jar before too. Love this oil. I haven't had to use one recently because I've kind of backed off on my Tretinoin for a while. It's something I'll get back into. But as I backed off, I didn't really need this because my skin was super normal and hasn't, you know, been dry or flaky or anything like that. I know as I get back into using my Tretinoin again, it will be, so I'll pick that back up. So again, another product I love. I don't really, well, there's a few, maybe a dud or two in here, but not too many so far, which I guess is a good thing. Speaking of good things, I have looked and looked and looked for mascaras and tried so many. And I actually think the one I'm trying right now is going to be my favorite. But it's one of the higher end ones. So I would say this is probably my favorite as far as a drugstore mascara. And this is the tried and true CoverGirl Lash Blast Volume. You've seen it. I know you've seen it. I'm going to show it to you anyway because that's my job in a YouTube video, right? So it's got the little, no, or nothing little about it. It's got the wand there. The bristles are kind of short. It's the rubber bristles. It does a nice job. What I like about this and about the one that's turning out to be my favorite is that it tends to be a drier formula. And for me, what that does is that allows my lashes to stay curled and instead of making them kind of fall flat. And what I noticed, I'd gone through, I don't know, 3 or 4 different mascaras. Oh, yep, it's coming up here. In a second, I'll just go ahead and talk about it. This Thrive that you see everywhere on the internet, it's called Liquid Lash Extensions. This, I don't know, maybe I was doing something wrong, but how hard is mascara to use, right? So I would put it on. I mean, I love the packaging. It's nice and heavy, feels pretty, I mean, expensive, I guess, or feels pretty quality. The brush is even nice. I prefer a natural bristle, but for a rubber bristle, this is a nice brush. But when I put it on, I mean, my lashes kind of did that thing where they clump together, but it's a wetter formula. So for me, I mean, my lashes just kind of almost, you know, wilted right after I put it on, regardless of how many times I had curled it. So that was unfortunately a dud or a fail for me. So many people like it, so if it works for you, I'm happy, but it just didn't work for me. But anyway, so this is definitely one that I would repurchase and I would try again because it worked well. Let's see, yes, I have. So the one that I've been saying, okay, so I've got a new one and I love it. And this was just one of those 100-point perks that you get from Sephora, and I liked it so much I went back and got a few more. So it is the It Cosmetics Lash Blowout. Now I think the full-size one, they did it in partnership with, was it Dry Bar maybe? I might be saying that wrong. But anyway, so it's that gray package and I think it has some yellow on it. But I like this. Open it up. It does have a natural bristle wand. I liked it from the first minute I put it on. Nice dry formula. My lashes stay curled all day, didn't flake. So like I said, I went back and got a few more of the 100-point perks, and hopefully this one will stay a contender because I like it. Now for the price difference, when I have to start buying them, probably gonna buy this one because it's only, you know, it's a few dollars versus this one, you know, being like $20-25. So there we go. All right, let's round out the category of lashes, why don't we? I guess you could call this an empty, an eyelash curler. So here's what happened. And this was a Bobbi Brown one that I liked really well for a while. I liked it because of the shape of it. It is, I don't know if you can tell, probably can. I need to pull an older one out. But it's kind of a flatter shape. And so when I would hold it on my eyes, it formed to my eyes better, or it fit my eyes better. That's a better way to say it. And I wasn't getting any pinching around the corners. But what has happened, and I had it about a year, so used it several times, but what has happened is the little spring mechanism that's in there, I mean, it's just not even, you can't tell, but when I do it, I'm not getting a curl anymore because it's just not putting any pressure up there. So was disappointed in that. Wouldn't buy one again if it's not going to make it more than a year. I'm using my old trusty Shiseido one, and kind of rediscovering that I really like that one as well. So we'll see if it makes it into a future favorites or not. Oh, one more thing that was a fail. I should have probably organized these into faves and fails, but this is an Empties video. I have to remember this right here, this Bambi Eye Mascara, wide eyes open. I had seen several people talk about this on YouTube, and I'm like, oh gosh, how wonderful it was, and how fluttery it made your lashes look, and all that kind of stuff. And let me open it, because I know I'm always curious about what it looks like. Again, rubber bristle brush, kind of short. They were okay. Bristles are fine. I'm not a fan of kind of fat packaging, which is one of the only things that I dislike about this. Is it kind of rolls around in my hand and it's hard to hold on to. Talk about a first world problem, right? But anyway, so not a fan of the packaging, but that wouldn't have stopped me if I'd loved the mascara. What I didn't like was when the very first time I put it on, it was like, and you've probably had them before, but it was like those mascaras that just make your lashes go, you know, and just like stick together, and you have like one or two lashes showing. So it certainly didn't coat each one and you know, let it look beautiful, or the way it should. It just sort of all clumped together. So definitely it was almost an immediate fail for me. All right, back to a more positive note. I finished a Drunk Elephant Bestie No. 9 Jelly Cleanser. I ended up, I'll be honest, the first few times I used this, I thought, oh, I don't know, you know, because it was a gel cleanser, and, you know, I had dry skin. So, and I thought, oh gosh, this is going to dry my hair, this is drying my skin out. And I just don't know compared to my Paulas Choice, which is what I was used to. But I will tell you, but I had decided, you know, I'm going to use it up since I'd purchased it. I kept using it. And then it wasn't, you know, a few weeks into it, my skin started to, I say normalize, I don't know the scientific term or whatever, but my skin ended up loving this cleanser. So much so that once I got this one done, even though I've still got some cleansers I need to use, I went ahead and bought another one, because I went about a week without it, and I thought, oh my gosh, I missed that so much. So it's one I would definitely recommend you check out. You can get a sample from Sephora if you want to try that. Maybe see if you can get a couple of samples to let it last you a little bit longer, in case you need to acclimate to it like my skin did. But I really enjoy it. So my plan is I use my Paulas Choice one at night when I'm taking off my makeup and doing my extra, I say aggressive, but my, just a little extra cleaning to make sure everything's done. And then I'll use this one in the morning just as a quick wash to make sure that, like all my night treatments are off and that sort of thing. But I love that. What else do I have? I have an Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place eyeshadow base. So, got it empty there. This is one of those that it's kind of like a MAC paint pot, if you've had one of those where you can put it on your eyes and use it as an eyeshadow base. It was okay. Would I buy it again? Probably not. I've got MAC Painterly, which a lot of times I will use on top of this primer here, and I like it just fine. So probably wouldn't purchase it again, but it was okay. Used it up. All right, just a couple more things here. One here is my Tretinoin, my Ultrino Tretinoin that I used up and have got another one ready to go. I did take a break for a little while. I took a break from my hydroquinone because they say every 3 or 4 months you should take about a 6-week break. And it seems like when I took that 6-week break from my hydroquinone, I just took a break from my Tretinoin as well. So I want to get back in my routine of using my hydroquinone and my Tretinoin. I've kept using my AHA that I talked about in a previous video because I love the exfoliation that I get with that. But anyway, need to get back on that. And last but not least, what we have here is a very large bottle because I guess wash my brushes a lot, which is a good thing. Of Cinema Secrets makeup brush cleanser. If this were full, it would be blue, not quite the color. I'm looking for my bottle. Not quite the color of my shirt. Almost like Windex, to be honest with you. But this smells much better than Windex. Does a great job on cleaning your brushes. You can, I just spray it on a paper towel and then take my brush and rub it a few times on there, and then it's ready to go. It dries almost instantly, but I clean my brushes after every use with that. They're synthetic brushes, so it's easy on them or gentle on them, and that way I know that they're always clean. I can do a deep cleaning with them as well if I want to, but that keeps them clean and ready to go. And since I wear a cream makeup, I definitely want to clean them after each use because I don't want the cream to gunk up on there. And cause the brush not to work as well as it could. So there you have it. That's my empties for the past couple of months. I remember the first video saying that I was amazed how many empties I had once I started collecting them, and I continue to be amazed because it's only been a couple of months. You know, and you think that's 8 weeks or so, maybe 10 weeks since my first empties video, and I've already emptied all of these other products. So I'm glad to be using things up and going through my stash that I've got. If you've got any questions about any of the products, let me know. I'll be glad to, answer it the best way I can. And if not, I look forward to seeing you in the next video.